philosophy as the season goes on as far as picking a goalie night to night? Is it you? Is it the coach? Is it Jimmy? Is it, there's some of it's past history, right? But Arvid has no past history, so
yeah.
Just curious on that.
No, we discuss things as a coaching staff, but Jimmy obviously has lots to say in that, and he discusses with the goaltenders themselves, and he can tell if someone's a little bit fatigued or someone, by the amount of work that he had. It's not the amount of shots, it's the amount of tough shots and the amount of work or amount of D-zone time where a goalie's like bearing down and really getting exhausted. I think putting all that together is good information for us to have and maybe making a smart choice. And that's how we've done it in the past, like last year, and we worked well together on that, and we'll continue to do that going forward. So I think Arvid's a young guy, he's a big guy. I think he can be a horse and play a lot of games in this league, but it's going to be his first probably full year, and I think he obviously has lots to learn still, and that won't be this year. But Peter's had a really good finish last year, and I think feeling healthy at the end of the year and having some really good full complete games at the end of the year probably gave him some really good confidence coming into this year. I know he's in good shape right now, and we want to keep him in good shape, so we'll just use that information on workload to manage who's starting and when.
So do you vision it like a 1 and a 2? Because it feels like, just from the outside, you really want to see what Arvid's got, right?
Yep.
As the season goes on. So how do you envision? How does that play out in your life?
Yeah, we take some information of their past records against, which Arvid doesn't have a lot of, but Peter does, and we kind of use that information. So if someone's really good, maybe they do play 2 in a row if there's a day in between, and then the other guy will go in. And same thing, if someone's struggling against someone, and let's say Arvid played really well or had a decent game, and Peter's doesn't have the best record or for whatever reason is not feeling the greatest, maybe we put Arvid in for 2 games. So we don't have a set cycle of 1 and 1 right now, but we will probably try and spread it out so Peter doesn't get overworked, plus Arvid gets lots of work as a young guy and showing that he's ready for it.
So you can see him having 30, 35 starts.
Yeah, I don't know what the number would be, but I could see us just flip-flopping at the beginning of the year to get them both rolling. And obviously, if there's a shutout and a day in between and he didn't have a lot of workload, we always change that plan on the fly as well.
We know you want to see Connor with a different line. How did they compare in terms of their chemistry?
I think the game just in general went way better on Connor's first game than the second game, and I think he just probably tried to do a little bit too much on his own in game 2, and that happens with any team, especially young guys. And you know what, I think we changed the lines around a little bit as the game went. Why not? It was 5-0 at the time. So, we put, Doc in there, and I thought Doc battled pretty well with him. And I know he played with him for a game at the the rookie tournament. So that was good to see. Going forward, that, we might see that at some point. But, I think tonight putting him back with some veteran guys is going to be huge. I think it's a help for Connor to surround him with some guys that can talk to him on the bench when they come off. The coaches can't talk to every single player every shift when they come off. So I think it's really important for a young guy like that to have some guys that were former MVPs, Stanley Cup champions, and to surround him with that. So I think we'll let them do a little bit of work on the side for the coaches.
Speaking of Doc, he's been hindered with so many injuries over the past year and a half. How nice is it to get like a consistent look at him at this level?
Yeah, no, I think he's been excellent right from day one, rookie tournament, right through now. He's been physical. He's making really responsible decisions with the puck, and I like him. Like, he's chirping at other players on the off the bench so he's not afraid to step up and just be a force out there, and he's got some really good skill to shoot the puck. So hopefully he gets another opportunity to show his stuff, and we've been impressed with him from day one here this year.
We had a chance to check in with several see how
I talked to the trainers today, and I gave an update yesterday to all the players, or not yesterday, but the day before, I guess Sunday, to all the players, and just encourage them to send him some texts and give him a call. And I guess he's on his way home, and the trainers told me this morning that he hasn't stopped smiling since, all the way through it. So he's a unique personality that we love, and all the players love him. So it'll be nice to have him back around. I know he'll be hobbling around a little bit for a while, but he's a great character kid, and it'll be nice for him to have the support of his teammates when he gets back here too.
When you say home, is he like back to
No, he'll be coming here.
here? So
Yeah.
rehab here in Chicago?
Yeah, I don't know the plan on that yet, but I would assume they definitely want to get our doctors to check him out and training staff to get him on a good plan for going forward.
You talked before about wanting guys to be communicating and talking on the ice and on the bench. How much of that is predicated towards X and O's, and how much is it just wanting to have guys be engaged and talking, whether it's to each other, pumping them up, or to the opposition, maybe chirping?
Yeah, I think that's individually everybody's got a different style, but I think for that part of the game, whether it's being talking to your teammates on the bench and maybe talking to the other team on the ice or in between shifts, trying to get under their skin, talking to the referees, that's a skill too. You got to do it with your emotion and control, otherwise the referees don't want to talk to you anymore. I think Corey Perry does a good job of that, so I think that'll be good for the young players to learn from. I think X's and O's, we showed a great clip of us going back, and I know we were pretty young, and we will be probably young this year on the back end mostly, but going back to our goaltender last game, the second period, it's an easy call to over, and we didn't call, and the goalie doesn't hear anything, he's going to go to his forehand on the glass just to get back in the net. It's a default for them. And if it went the other way, it's a 1 against 3. They had one forechecker over there, and we had a defenseman with 2 forwards ready to help. So it was a good example for them to see that if you just use your voice a little bit as a tool, it can get you out of a lot of trouble and get you out of the D zone. So hopefully they can keep learning and seeing that and implementing that into their game plan, because it really can help us out a lot.
Red Wings have had, as there have been years in their rebuild that played key roles in that win. Do you kind of look at them and see, what the Hawks could be down the road?
Yeah, you mean the players helping out with that rebuild? I think there's obviously the young guys that are coming through the rebuild, and there's guys that are brought in to help that process. And you know what, I think we leave that door open to seeing that maybe it's not just a one and done thing. Maybe it leads to another year, or it leads to something else in the organization. You never know, because when you're here at the start, you understand with that first few steps that we've taken. It's great to have those people around when you're starting to take those crucial medium steps to get not just through a regular season but into the playoffs, and what that means. And some of these players that have been brought in have had extensive experience in the playoffs and winning, and you want to have that around.
Is it at all important to get guys on the United Center ice more, or just, obviously leaving the road schedule where you guys start, you guys aren't at home that often, and, not having the morning skates there and the games, is that all challenging? I know you guys talked about ice conditioning from last time.
Yeah, no, I think it's the same. Exhibition's the same for everybody, and everybody goes in and out in an exhibition game, so no one's really in their normal routine until game 1. I think everybody gets there's another level of intensity that just automatically kicks in for athletes when it's for real, and I think that's what we're hoping to try and emulate in the next 2 home games, because it's at home, and we really want to pump up the crowd and get something going in our own rink for other teams to kind of fear to come in here. So I don't see any, other than the normal preparation, there's really nothing else that we can do. And I think getting on the road, sometimes that's good. You take some distractions away and you just play. And the guys get together and they have a lot more meals together, and they're a lot less spread out. And usually in visiting dressing rooms are a little bit tighter and maybe too tight sometimes, but you got to get to know your buddy and get to know them quick. And I think that's a good thing.